Hutch is almost ready.
We're going live. When storms arrive, we go live. With eyes on the sky, we stand by your side. Through the wind and the rain, through the thunder's call. Hutch is weather, we're here for it all. Standing strong with you, no matter the storm. Anywhere, anytime, at hutchesweather.com. We're live! Now here's Chief Meteorologist, Hutch Johnson.
And hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson catching you up on all of the details. A couple of the headlines. We have some closed roads, including I-29 and a lot of others as well. We're going to go over the DOT reports as well. We have Minnesota road conditions to update you on, a dropping of the blizzard warning in some areas. And how long is this going to go on? The edge of the radar starting to show things quieting down as far as new snowfall goes. It all starts right now. Thanks for joining me on Hutch's Weather. A quick note from my sponsors at Robert Gibb & Sons. I could not do it without these folks and all of my sponsors, both online and right here on the streams. Robert Gibb & Sons is offering a free water heater with an upgrade to your heating and air conditioning system. Give them a call today to find out more details. Let's get right to it. Here's a look at the radar. All these blue tabs here are wind gust reports. So this is a huge monster storm system, and look at what's going through areas of central Illinois and all the way down to Memphis, Tennessee, through central Arkansas as well. Two bands of strong showers and heavy rain. Thunder Bay seeing the heaviest of the snowstorm, and now we do have a little bit of a remnant activity here. Gusts of wind going through parts of Kansas are in the magnitude of 80 miles per hour in the Russell, Kansas area. Look out, Omaha. You have yourself some weather making its way through. 58 to 65 mile per hour gusts in your neck of the woods. Central South Dakota seeing gusts in the 60s a mile per hour, and wait till you see this. We have wind gusts here that have exceeded 70 miles per hour in some areas here. Let's go to a 72 mile per hour Beltrami measurement of a wind gust. 72 miles per hour, folks. That happened here just moments ago as we went into the midday hour. So gusty straight line winds behind the system coming at us out of the north, causing a rock and roll of snow to make its way all the way for where the snowfall is down into the Fargo-Moorhead area. Finally seeing some snowfall in our area. We've had a couple little bands make their way through, but at times we get these little gust-nados, if you will, on the edge of homes, kind of dust devils that are filled with snow. Amazing wind gusts out there. And we do have, for those of you who have been asking, snow squall warnings up here in the Arrowhead of Minnesota. Ely, you got them. Remember, I talked about this. Could be possible in areas of eastern Minnesota where we have just not a lot of snowfall activity, but a brief bout with some zero visibilities. These are called squall, snow squall warnings that are in effect up there in the northeast part, I should say, of Minnesota. So that's what's going on the radar. If we take a look out Ada and much of your area here from Norman County through, well, the area is so heavily impacted in and around, well, all the way from Halstead right into Beltrami, Thief River Falls, Red Lake Falls. That last blast is coming its way right into your neck of the woods. How about Minneapolis, St. Paul, southern Minnesota, and the I-90 corridor, seeing a smattering of snow shower activity with gusty winds as well. Speaking of those gusty winds, here's what the gusts are now across the entirety of the region. Where you see the orange colors is where they are strongest. 54 in Grand Forks, 52 mile per hour gusts in Jamestown, 54 mile per hour gust in Aberdeen right now. Hey, thanks for joining on my YouTube channel. Let me know where you're watching from. Drop a comment and make sure you're uploading any videos or pictures right from your mobile app. Hutch's Weather app. Search Hutch's Weather in the app store today. Simon, thank you for your report. No wind in the Duluth area yet. There's that center of the low pressure system right in your area. Once it passes you by, things will get rocking and rolling there. And you do have that snow squall moving through on the leading edge of that system, working its way through the northeast quadrant of Minnesota and the Arrowhead. So this is what's going on right now. 67 mile per hour gust at this time in Grand Forks just coming in. So it is still ripping winds to 70 miles miles per hour. The DOT crews are out there working very hard. We have gotten some images of tractor trailers flipped over, cars in the ditch, and icy roads. And let's get to the road reports for the region. We're going to scan through the area first, and then we'll go take a look at some of the pictures. We're going to start with North Dakota roads. There are new closures to let you know about as well. I-29 is closed all the way from the international border straight down into the South Dakota border. So from border to border, I-29 is indeed closed. Now, we do have some other closures to tell you about as well. Let's see, those were coming in on my mobile device here. But yes, we do have some events and closures. It looks like there is a one lane open on one portion of I-29 there. But again, no travel is advised. Anywhere you see the reds, anywhere you see the purples, we have that travel alert in effect where, you know what, it's best to just stay home and stay off of the roads until things can get back into better shape. This is the overview. We'll come back and take a more close look at some of the images later. In South Dakota, no travel advised in the yellow areas here where the blizzard warning is in effect. So we're talking about Roberts County, South Dakota, and your neighbors over in the Sisseton area in the Sisseton Hills. So keep that in mind. That's the aerial impact on the South Dakota map. Now, it does go all the way down toward the near Watertown area, but Millbank, South Dakota, well, Browns Valley, all the way down towards, let's go down into the area here near Webster as well. So those are the areas in the no travel advisory in South Dakota. Minnesota, you do have some tough travel conditions and some of the worst winds. Check out these asterisks up here. What are they all? This is a look at what's going on right now. And remember, all of this is available to you on Hutch's website at hutchesweather.com and on my brand new app. Search Hutch's Weather in the App Store today. Brought to you by my friends at OK Tire. Now, as we take you in just a little bit, you're going to see a lot of pink roads. These are completely covered roads. Highway 11's getting it right now, all the way from the North Dakota border straight in towards Koochiching County. And as we go down the Red River Valley counties here, where we do have those ripping winds right now, gusting to near 70 miles per hour, over 70 miles per hour on the Highway 9 corridor right up into Beltrami, going on with a road measurement there. Road closed, whiteout, drifting, blowing snow, slippery, reduced visibility. The road is closed. So we do have a closure up here in the Hallock area to the west of Hallock. We also have a closure, it looks like on Highway 11. This is Highway 11 closed to whiteout conditions and drifting between Carlstead and the state line. If we go south, Highway 9 here looks to be closed. Let's go with this. US Highway 2 closed also. Between US Highway 2, and US 75. So all the way up and down, it looks like US 75 is closed. Stephen, Argyle, all of this closed down due to the impact of the blizzard that is ongoing in the region right now. We also have Minnesota Highway 1 closed between Warren and the state line. We have the Minnesota 220 closed due to whiteout conditions and the blizzard that's ongoing. If you happen to be traveling east of Grand Forks, from East Grand Forks through Fisher and on into the Crookston area, that is closed as well. That is US Highway 2 closed down all the way into the Crookston area. We also have Minnesota 220 closed. This is closed between US 75 and US Highway 2 near Climax as well. So a number of road closures. That does not happen often in the state of Minnesota. And now let's take you to a couple of the DOT cameras that can show us some of this ongoing nonsense across the region. Here is a look at US Highway 2 at East Grand Forks. Again, you can't see even out front of the camera lens. And on one of the shots when they're pointing down, you can get a glimpse of the road surface out there as the snowfall is wrapping up in the area, but it's not quite done yet. This blowing snow is going to stick around for some time. So on this page, what we will do is go ahead and pull up and turn on the plow cams so we can see where the snow plows are. Thanks to all our first responders and DOT crews. Remember, if you go out and you get stuck, you could block a lot of stuff going on with the DOT crews. The plows might not be able to get through, and help may not be able to arrive to your area. So it's super important to close these places down, keep vehicles off of the roads so that we can get the emergency vehicles through. Dusty Justice, thank you for your report. Semi was tipping behind me on I-94 eastbound from 45th Street to I-29. So that's right in town in Fargo. Unbelievable. Thank you for your report, Dusty. Blowing snow in Valley City seems to be easing a little. So in the western part, the winds should be decreasing now, and that'll eventually work its way into our neck of the woods as well. Let's check out Highway 11 Greenbush. This is what the plow drivers are seeing as some of the snow is starting to end. The snowfall is starting to end, but they are working very diligently here to get those roads cleared off. If we look in the area of the closed roads, here's near Kennedy. Take a look at the stark difference going on here. Thanks again to our DOT drivers. You cannot even see. I don't even know how you can see very far to drive much more than 5 or 10 miles per hour in conditions like this. So they are putting their lives in peril to try to keep these roads clear. Here is a look at the Highway 11 corridor as well. Once again, as we see that there are some huge drifts on the side of the road here going on. Hydrostream, windy last night in South Dakota, shut down last night. Gonna wait it out. That's a good idea. Thank you for pointing that out. Hello from South Dakota and hello from us. Let's see. Mike from Minnesota says winds are up, staying 6 p.m. It will calm down after that. Good. Yep. And that's what we're expecting. Valley City, North Dakota, winding down a little bit steady. And that's good to hear. So we are seeing some improvement in areas, and we can see by the DOT camera here, the visibility is improving. Crookston, let's look in on the plow driver in your neighborhood here. Oh my goodness. There's the auto parts store. We do have wind ripping through the buildings of downtown, and things are pretty crazy. So that's what's going on with regards to roads right now. What about Highway 10 and what about Interstate 94? Here's Lake Park. The roads are reported to be seasonal there, and you can see there's reduced visibility, but you can see all the way up that there little hill, which means the visibility is a little bit better in that particular region. Now, as we go to the I-94 corridor outside of the FM area, let's go ahead and take a look. Here's the Dilworth exit at milepost 5, and that is completely difficult to see. Somebody out there trying to challenge those road conditions right now and get on the road. Now, if you're all the way down into the Fergus area, this plow driver has some pretty decent visibility in and around town and through the buildings of town. But when you get out of town, is it equally as good? Let's check this out. It does look like the visibility, once you get through, say, maybe Fergus Falls, things start to improve. We'll double check that estimate here and take a look at I-94 at milepost number 81. So this is way down there as we get down near Evansville, and we can certainly see a little bit better. So for those people who are traveling between the Twin Cities and Fargo, you're going to go all the way up I-94 and have some fair visibility and decent road conditions. There was rain that made its way through parts of central and southern Minnesota this morning, and we do have some icy spots on the area roads down there south of Interstate 94. Here's the Interstate 94 corridor. So south, as we go into areas like Eden Valley, we're seeing some icy road reports there thanks to that rain that made its way through. So we do have our DOT workers getting to it now and taking care of business. Thank you all for your reports. Let's check in on our neighbors up to the north in Manitoba. And now as we take a look, we still have some very treacherous conditions with closed roads in red in the southeast portion of the province right now. So if you happen to be traveling in Winnipeg, basically I-29 has been closed from border to border, but it does extend all the way through Winnipeg as well. So the border's closed at and I-29 not allowing traffic on that road. It is closed. There is some improvement to visibility at the Morris camera there. As you can see, some of this improvement is taking place, and there were closures on Highway 1 between Brandon and Winnipeg earlier. Those are now seeming to be a little bit better as surfaces on the road and visibility is improving. And hey, look at that. A little bit of old Mr. Sunshine coming through as that cold air is working its way into the direction. So that's what we have going on right here. Again, thank you. Hello, Ann from the Ada area. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And thank you all for joining me. Chris says Tokyo drifting, and we got pillow drifts everywhere. Poor visibility north of at the Ada area, says Jessica. And in fact, some parts of that highway are indeed closed as you kind of go up in that general direction. And I'm getting a call here, but we'll go ahead and put a hold on that one. Okay, so now we've talked about the winds. Let's take a look at those peak gusts once again across the region from the Endon network and show you we've already seen some gusts over 70 miles per hour recorded here near Beltrami. The network of instruments that is the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network is a very, very dense network of instruments here, and it's capturing gusts today, peak gusts since midnight of near 70 miles per hour out there in parts of southwest North Dakota. And we did get the Red River Valley screaming winds up here, upwards of 60 miles per hour in Warren, which matches pretty close to what we saw down here by the time we get into southern and western Polk County near the fine folks in Beltrami with the gust that's going on there. So the peak gusts are ripping out there right now. Here are your current gusts across this same network. We just saw 67, and that's the current gust report in Grand Forks from the National Weather Service office. And we have other stations right now that are reporting gusts to 40 and 50 miles per hour up and down the Red River Valley. So that core of strongest winds is here. You have a lull into central Minnesota. So this core of winds is going to be sliding slowly off to the east. Reports of improving conditions in and around places like Jamestown and out towards Maddock and Rugby, and that's where things are looking a little bit better. As far as the watches and warnings go, there's been a trimming of the blizzard warning, so let me update you on that as well as we head into your afternoon. For that, we're going to go up to this computer. You'll see a model swiftly drifting the snow through the region here. Now, blizzard warning continues for northeast North Dakota, so as we go from the Rock Lake, Candu area through Langdon, Walhalla, all the way out towards Roseau County here and down through the Red River Valley into South Dakota, a solid blizzard warning has been issued. Now, we do have Otter Tail County in the blizzard warning now. We talked a little bit about this, but western parts of Otter Tail County from Pelican Rapids and Fergus Falls has been included in the blizzard warning as we go through the evening. This is in effect until 6 p.m. tonight as our winds should be subsiding, but the blowing snow will likely continue. As I look out my window, I did not see any butterflies, but I certainly did see a lot of blowing snow. The winter storm warning level conditions continue in and around Lake of the Woods in northern Beltrami County, and that's where the heaviest or heavier snow band has been drifting its way through. So what you notice on this hour-by-hour forecast here as we go ahead and get you updated on that, let me go ahead and walk through this on time. So as we take a look at our morning time frame here, we go into the early afternoon. The snow is wrapping up in the Red River Valley. You can see the edge, the exiting edge, we'll call it, of the system. Heavier bands of snow moving into Thunder Bay, maybe even mixed precipitation raining in Green Bay ahead of the cold air that's coming your way. A band of snow could be impacting the Twin Cities as we go through the hours now, and we saw a little bit of that and pushing into the early afternoon drive home. As we look at the northern tier, that's where it's been snowing most profoundly throughout the morning hours and into the afternoon. That continues as we go through the 1 o'clock time frame all the way in Koochiching County until we get out toward the hours of about 4 to 6 p.m. Then it starts exiting off into St. Louis County and other northeast Minnesota Arrowhead areas. Now, notice the leading edge of the exiting edge of the snow here is from Bemidji right down through Park Rapids, through the Brainerd Lakes area, and all the way to Wilmer and down into parts of central Iowa. So that's what we have going on. And this snow is going to be super duper hard to measure out there, and the travel is still going to be quite tricky. Dusty says supposedly Hector International Airport reported a top gust of 61, not confirmed though, just saw a Facebook post. So yes, the peak gust today, if I can go back through the records, I'll double check that for you, but that sounds about right. Here in the FM area, our peak gusts that we saw on that map from the Endon folks was closer to the 58 mile per hour. So that does fit pretty well. Different instruments in different parts of town can certainly have significant differences. And if you think of gusty winds, you can even see piles of leaves move faster in certain areas as the river of air above us makes its way through all of the obstacles here on the ground. It's very easy to see one area get a much higher gust than other areas, but it does happen. That's the nature of wind, and we can actually see it sometimes on Doppler radar data. Really cool stuff. Thanks for your input here, Dusty. I appreciate it very much. Charlene, thanks. Hi from Fargo, she says, and hi to you. Let's go ahead and take a look. Hi from Fargo, Lake of the Woods and Williams. Visibility is not good and blowing snow. Nancy, thank you for your report. Scott says, eastern Minnesota, will we get the conditions similar to North Dakota? In the northern part of the state here and off into the Arrowhead, the answer is going to be a sharp and emphatic yes. The wind gusts will pick up later as we go into the drive time home along with this snow here. We'll take a look at that wind gust forecast model for you. And Sherry Reeves, thank you so very much for sharing stars with Hutch. It does help Hutch keep growing and going, and it allows me to continue doing what I love. Thanks, Facebook friends, for commenting. Here's a look. Lake of Fire, Alvarado. It's so bad out here fighting snow and blowing snow in the window AC unit. facing west, and the winds are coming from the northwest. Thank you so very much for your input there, and do your best to stay warm. The outside cover is blown off of the AC unit. Oh man, that's tough. Yeah, you end up having to battle that cold draft coming right into the house. So gusty winds in Park Rapids, Highway 4, 2 miles south of Emmaville. So if you're out there near the Cub Scout camp in Emmaville, Cheryl Johnson, been out there with the boys when they were younger, and it's a beautiful country. A little bit more in the way of trees in that neck of the woods out there, which can slow some of the gusts, but even you are reporting those nasty gusty winds. Valley City, wind dying down. Okay, so we've got to your questions there. Now let's see what else we got going on as we take a look at your forecast. Now, don't drive. It's imperative that you do not drive. There's a lot of nonsense going on out there where, semis are sliding off the road. Cars are in the ditch. The roads are getting closed so that they can get to those people and rescue them and get things straightened back up for opening the roads as soon as possible. So as soon as they open up, they will. I'm going to show you a few pictures and we'll get to the forecast, but let's go to the forecast first. So as we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, we'll look at the northern plains here. We'll look at the high-resolution model. We're going to look at additional snow, watching the isobars for when the wind will start decreasing in your area. So a little lesson in meteorology, where you see these isobars closer together, the wind's going to be coming mainly northerly and northwesterly in this area. And up here, we'll have more of an easterly or northeasterly flow of wind on the north side of the low pressure system. So if you're in the arrowhead of Minnesota, you're not getting much in the way of winds now in Duluth. Why? Because you're in the center of the low pressure system, kind of the eye of the storm, if you will. Now that's going to increase as this low exits off to the east fairly quickly. So you're going to have winds picking up in the next hour or two. Now, as we walk our way through this forecast animation, you can watch your location, your hometown, and hopefully my big old shoulder isn't in your way. No significant gustiness out here where the isobars are this far apart. Medora, Billings, Beach, North Dakota, Webo, Montana, things are quieting down substantially there. Central North Dakota, lower winds than we're going to see here. Here's where we're going to have our 30 to 50 mile per hour gusts as we go into the evening hours. So I'll back this up. Here you're looking at 19 minus 6. Okay, so that's 1 p.m. So there's 1, and as we continue through, there's 2, 3, 4. Look at what's going on here, eastern North Dakota. The wind isobars start relaxing a little bit. So as we go to 4 to 5 p.m., the wind gusts should start quieting down as we approach the end of the blizzard warning here. Now, things are still ripping. We got snow making its way through places like northwest Wisconsin and the Twin Cities. We have some bands of snow moving through places like Duluth. People asking if Fargo's going to see any snow. We will get a little bit more. There's a band on the radar. I'm looking outside, and there's no question we got snow going on right now because I cannot see the neighbor's house. So we got snow and blowing snow working its way through Moorhead right now. This will continue, but it will start wrapping up as we head into the 2 to 3 p.m. time frame, and most of it goes north. So as a matter of fact, as we head towards your 6 p.m. drive time home, and hopefully you don't have to drive anywhere, we'll have these gusty winds all across the state of Minnesota, decreasing wind gusts across North Dakota, and the cold air continues to pile in. Notice that we have bands of snow developing on the backside of the low, even as we head towards 10 o'clock at night tonight here and heading into the overnight. Then it exits. So eastern Minnesota will have a chance at snow through the Arrowhead and through the North Shore, northern Wisconsin, Apostle Islands area right there. Whoop, there they are, getting a good ripping of snow and wind working its way through. Ronald Moore, no travel advised. Indeed, that's the case. Angela says, I'm in Page, snowing here now. Thank you very much for that. Highway 200 general area out there as we go up into northern parts of Cass County as well. So got to tell you what, things are going to improve, but it's going to be after the dinner hour tonight before things really quiet down. Then there's another system that will be moving in. This is a warm front. It comes into the cold air mass that'll be setting here, kicking off more snow in northeast Montana as we go into Friday morning's drive time. So another layer of slipperiness coming to area roads as we head into your Friday morning. And then it's going to be topped off by a warming trend with rain, freezing rain, and sleet potential as we head into our Friday at midday. It pushes into the Red River Valley counties, the James River Valley counties with a mixed bag of tricks. gusty south winds. That warm up comes with growing pains, and that could add insult to injury on our area roads. This is our Friday little weather wiggle wobbling through, peaking in the FM area, peaking in Crookston and Grand Forks, peaking in Hallock, peaking in Fisher, peaking out over here into Bagley and on towards Bemidji as we go into the evening hours, late afternoon, early evening here on your Friday. So that's the latest on that particular system. That's another warm front associated with an Alberta clipper that's moving out of Alberta. And the details on that one, not very refined over the last couple of days, but it's starting to get a little closer. So Friday is also going to be a day of inclement weather. Thank you for all of your photos. Let's go right to Hutch's website here, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the photo page. And thank you so much for all of your contributions by uploading to my brand spanking new weather app. Now check it out. This is downtown Fargo this afternoon. And you can see it's pretty barren. That's good news. There was some blowing snow, and this is looks like on the Broadway area. Thank you, Amber, for sharing your experience of what's going on in downtown Fargo. I'm having a problem playing back a couple of the videos, but we're working on getting that fixed. Jake, thank you so very much from Bemidji. Look at this. This is Highway 2, and this is not in the blizzard warning, but you can't see very far. Now, what is a blizzard? It's defined as gusts or sustained winds at 35 miles per hour or more, frequent gusts, for 3 straight hours. Has this happened for 3 straight hours? Then probably you could say blizzard-like conditions were seen there. I'm gonna have to go away and come back to this page there. That next image was locked up. So now as we take a look, here's a look at the Beltrami area where we did get a report of some 70 mile per hour gusts out there. And again, thanks to Joni for sharing this image. Not going anywhere today, it says, and that's not a bad idea, Joni. Thank you so very much for sharing your view out there in Beltrami, Minnesota. Highway 9 reporting a gust upwards of, can you believe it, 70 plus miles per hour here in the Red River Valley. So thank you for your submissions. Keep them coming. Snowfall forecast for Friday. Let's go over that. Thank you for your question. FJEIFBW. You'll have to let me know what that stands for because I cannot read that very easily. So let's talk a little bit about the forecast for the snowfall amounts, and we'll go back to this hour by hour forecast here from this particular model. I'm going to go back just a little bit to, this model is going out to a decent amount of time here. So let's go ahead and see. We might have some icing on the back side of this, so keep that in mind. And now let's take a look at our winter weather prognostication from this one particular model. And then I'm going to take you to another model here right quick, but let's go to this one first. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to go here and let's go with the not total snowfall, but the 24-hour snowfall that would be ending at the end of the model run. So this ends at midnight on Saturday. So Friday's snowfall, as you see here from that system wobbling through, this is between Friday at midnight and Saturday at midnight. So all day Friday. Okay, so all day Friday, we're not talking about a lot of snow with this, a few tenths of an inch, maybe up to an inch near the international border. As it moves into Minnesota, there is a possibility for a little bit more snow there. Let's take a look at one other model that's been handling the forecast pretty well here. Let's go to this one. This one's been doing pretty good. Notice that that's for today. But as I scroll through and we get to the, here is Saturday, ending Saturday at midnight, Saturday morning at 1 a.m. Let's just call it that. So it's a little, this model has a little bit more in the way of snow rocking its way through the northern tier along the Highway 2 corridor that was hit with this storm the worst. So we're talking a few tenths of an inch to an inch or two of snow with this system. What about ice? It did look like there was considerable icing taking place with this system as it worked its way through. This particular model, as we go into Saturday, there it comes. So a little bit of ice associated on the backside of that warm front. Once the warm air starts moving in, it melts some of those snowflakes into liquid drops that freeze on the road surface. So there could be a little bit of spotty ice with this storm diagonally across the region from northwest to southeast. So there you go. I hope that answers your question. Let me see if there's any more pertinent information to get out to you. We've talked a little bit about roads. I do want to make a point here that we do have very cold air working its way in, and those wind chills are getting dangerous out there. So if roads open up and you have a chance to travel, what you're looking at is feels like temperature, or called wind chill. So the air takes the heat away from our skin at a faster rate than it would if there was no wind. Okay, so any wind at all with the temperatures we're seeing, we're going to have wind chill values between 30 and 50 below zero. These are right now wind chills between 30 and 50 below zero. That means a survival kit in your vehicle is mandatory. I think it's pertinent to talk about this in every update, but I want you to have candles and matches in your car should you run out of gas and become stranded or slide off the road for any amount of time and your car's engine not work. At temperatures like this, even sitting in the shelter of the inside of a vehicle can be bone-chilling cold. So it's important to have blankets for everyone, hats and mittens for everyone, and it's important to make sure that you have everyone in there protected. Now, if you're burning a candle on the inside of the car, I like those ones with multiple wicks, big ones. They put out a little heat. They're also going to put out carbon monoxide. So it's not a bad idea to go ahead and crack a window. It seems counterintuitive, but we don't want you getting carbon monoxide poisoning when it comes down to that. So here are a few things for your survival kit that I think are important to have. A shovel and a little bit of kitty litter to get you out of the ditch. It might just be a little bit of shoveling you need to do to get out of there. You need those candles and matches out there. You need flashlights. And please, when you're traveling through with weather like this or on the heels of weather like this, make sure you have a fully charged cell phone. If everyone in the vehicle has one, pick one and don't use it. Make sure it stays fully charged so you can call. Let people know your route that you're taking and let people know when you expect to arrive and when you're leaving. Because if you don't show up and you call and we can't get a hold of you, that's another important factor. With winds tonight still being stout with blowing snow and decreased visibility in a blizzard, never, ever leave your car. Please stay with your vehicle, because if you leave, it becomes instantaneously impossible to see, maybe even more than 50 yards or 100 yards or even a few feet. And if that is the case, you can get disoriented so super quick. So thank you for joining me here on Hutch's Weather. If you do have a question, let me know. Total snowfall for the entire season. Kept mine in and out for some reason. Okay, so let's see. Total snowfall for the entire system. Okay, we have not gotten a lot of folks that have been able to give us reports and measurements. And the reason you're not hearing how much fell in any one location is just because we're meteorologists at the National Weather Service are here. We rely on you and your reports. So as far as snowfall reports go, I have not heard a lot coming in yet. I can tell you in the Fargo area, it's darned near impossible to tell how much has come down right now as far as fresh snowfall goes. Snow up north is getting lofted up into the lower atmosphere and then transported southward and then dropped here. So it's difficult to tell whether that's drifted snow or if it's fresh fallen snow. But we'll do our best to estimate it here when it's done. Sometimes the best we can do is take a look inside of our big professional level rain gauge and melt it down and see how much water's in there, and then estimate the snowfall ratio from our friends at the National Weather Service. Liquid water to snowfall ratio, it's different for every atmospheric temperature profile, and then we could estimate how much snow fell. But it's still really difficult because we don't know how many of those snowflakes that landed in your gauge came from Canada and the ones that fell over your location. So I understand it's hard, but any report is better than no report. So when all is said and done, you get out there and you do an estimate of measurements across your area. And it goes to show in many mathematical type of equations, not to sound too scientific here, but you can take the deepest drift and measure that. And you might have a 1 foot drift on the side of your house. We don't want you to include that. But then you can take the bare part of the ground and it has 0 inches of snow on it, and you add those two together and you're going to get an average. And that average is halfway between the big fat drift and the nothing on the bare part of the ground, right? Now, that gets you closer to the estimate of what you've had in your area. But then if you take a look at some areas that have like maybe a little wavy area of snow that's not really drifted, get away from buildings, houses, trees, and cars, and try to get a fair measurement on the upwind side of where things are going. If any snow there at all stuck, you can measure 4 or 6 locations and divide to get that average. And that's the best you can do. And you know what? Your best is good enough. And we'll take those measurements at the end of this storm. Chris Cruz, thank you. I'm supposed to fly out of Fargo tomorrow, 6 p.m. Is it safe to go from the tarmac in the morning from Fargo? All right, I got to tell you, I don't know how the runway conditions will be, but we have that little system moving through in the late part of the day, the late afternoon. So you're leaving 6 p.m. There'll be a little new snow. There'll be maybe some measurable snow from that, and maybe a chance for some ice. It all depends on that icing thing. So we don't want icing to be a problem for your plane. You'll have to check Hector to see the schedule, because it's going to change day to day. And it's not only where you're flying out of, it's where you're flying to and how their weather has been or will be as we go into the day tomorrow as well. So this storm big enough to impact air travel in different parts of the country. Have your survival kit handy. Make sure it's in your car. Not too much snow for my liking in St. John. Nicole, I'm laughing with you. Thanks for the smiley face. Y'all make my day. Now I'm going to the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network's camera system here. We have some of the snow making its way through western parts of Minnesota and the valley now, and it's ending out to the west. What does it look like on their camera network? So we're going to take a look at a couple of these sites. It's a real cool site. Search NDON, North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network, in your store today or on your online, and you'll be able to look at some of the same content here. Now, as we go into the Polk County area and the Crookston area, this is where we've had some terrible whiteout conditions. What does that look like? Okay, either someone's holding a white sheet of paper up to that camera like this, or we've got a complete whiteout going on at the NDON site looking west in kind of into the wind. It's a north wind. That is unbelievable. This was at 1:40 today. Thanks, NDON, for your agricultural weather network. This is in Minnesota, from the Minnesota Ag Weather Network. So it's extending into Minnesota, as you see. And now let's go down toward the Twin Cities, because there's some flakage starting down there. So this is Cologne looking west. Do you see the layer of ice that's there too? So southern Minnesota, it's looking very North Dakota-like right now. Getting out towards Fountain, way down there in the southeast corner of Minnesota. Let's take a look. There we got some visibility. That's pretty good. Now, if we go in a little bit closer to the I-90 corridor, let's see, that's Laverne. Let's go to Laverne. And Laverne is looking like it's going to have a hard time finding Shirley there, Laverne, because it's a little bit on the hazy side. Visibility a little bit farther. That grove of trees seems to be a little ways away, but still some windswept areas. Now, as we get into the Wilkin County area, Traverse County, Lake Traverse, here's Beardsley. Same thing goes. Very windy conditions, lofted snow, not a lot of fresh snowfall in that area, but I did get a report that there is some snowfall in and around Morton, Breckenridge, and Wahpeton, and there's no question we got snow flying through there. And look at the wind. You cannot see in Morton now. This would be near the Morton exit at I-29 as you're looking into Richland County. How about you folks in Milner down here? Let's check your NDON station out. We got some visibility issues, but it's breaking a little bit. It's not a solid wall of snow at the time that shot was taken. If we go to Rolog out there, there's no steam threshers going through the fields. We do have some serious snow flying. You are not in the area here in Rolog of that blizzard warning. Now, here's Underwood in western Otter Tail County. They included you in the blizzard warning. The visibility right now looks to be a little bit better on the edge of that particular water body over there. But I got to say, at times, it's no picnic either. As we go across North Dakota, we've got numerous camera sites out here. Let's check out the Jamestown area. And this is a look. We're starting to see the sky clearing, but must be a little bit of ice film on the lens there, causing that awesome blurry kind of picture that we're getting from that site. Marion, same thing goes for you. So in and around Stutzman County, we're starting to see a breakup and a freeing of the cloud cover out there across the region. So this is the NDON camera network, and it allows us to see with our eyes what is going on. And as we look at Carrington, we can see the blue skies aplenty out there, and the storm still windy, but a little bit of improvement recorded from your zone and your area. Cooperstown, taking a look. There we go. We still have some snow lofted and some light snowfall probably in that particular location rocking through. Emerado, why don't we come to our senses and have a look? There we go. Then we got ourselves still quite a bit of wind. And remember the recent wind gust for your neighbors at the Grand Forks Airport there, 67 miles per hour. And how about Marshall County and Viking? And we definitely have a few breaks in the clouds from this blizzard as it's winding through, blowing areas of snow, drifting snow, and a lot of wind out there in areas where I-29 is closed. The oil patch right now checking in for you. Wow. That's like almost postcard pretty out there, but there's definitely a tundra feel to that, isn't there? How about the I-94 corridor beach at the border? Well, I don't think the sun is set in beach, but the last picture here was taken at 1:24 a.m. 1:24 a.m. we had some winds going through there that were 80 plus miles per hour, and not far from you 90 plus miles per hour in southwest North Dakota. Sunny Slope, looking mighty sunny out there this afternoon in southwest North Dakota. As we come in on places like Bowman here, looking pretty good there as well. Bismarck, Mandan, the capital, seeing fields good, the sky is blue, and the things are improving there as well. So we do have improvement in western and central North Dakota. In the James River Valley and points east, we still have impacts. Brianna says, hey Hutch, just wondering, how long do you think this storm will last? Do you think it will be going at all into the weekend? Do you think we'll have some nice weather this weekend? So let's look at that for you to answer your question here. And we're going to go right out to the longer range model. I'm going to go more regional here as we get closer to the week of the holidays, and let you know that, travel across the nation is something a lot of us like to do and want to do to go see family. So we'll take more of a regional picture. If you want to zoom in, and please let me know, Brianna, where you're asking your question from. Chris Cruz says Florida. Supposed to fly to Florida. Okay, so going to Florida tomorrow, as long as you can get out of Fargo, you should be good. I don't know about the impacts at airports in between if you have any layovers at all. Keep in mind those things will impact it. Going to a look at the national forecast. I'm sorry, my eyes got to focus for a second. We're going to look at the European model for that weekend. Grand Forks and Crookston, thank you for answering so quickly, Brianna. That helps me out. What's the forecast for Silver Bay tomorrow? Well, it does look like you guys are going to be in for some tough conditions tonight with a break in between systems, and then the Friday evening system will work in late tomorrow and into the overnight hours for you. So now let's take a look at what this model says. I know it's hard to focus on our area, but it's not hard to see all the black lines called isobars showing the wind associated with this winter weather maker we're undergoing right now. This storm will be long gone for you, Brianna, by the time we get into the weekend, and I'm going to step through this a frame at a time. Okay, so this system is on its way out, and it's making its way to the east, and we'll walk it out of here, going through the Great Lakes, showers, thunderstorms moving through Tennessee. Gusty winds with this storm will start decreasing in the Red River Valley by the time we get to midnight. We'll have calm winds and bitter cold temperatures with clear skies and fresh snow up north. I expect some really nasty cold up there tonight. We're talking well below zero, teens below zero to 20s below for air temperature, wind chills 30 to 50 below zero, even with a little bit of wind. You start your Friday morning with a break. Here's the next weather making system moving out of, you guessed it, say it with me, Alberta. And, well, that's British Columbia, but it gets into Calgary here as we go through, becomes an Alberta Clipper. This Alberta Clipper will bring a warm front. We're cold first. We're on the cold side of the system, so we get snow. And then the European model drags us through the Red River Valley at noon. So noontime snow for your Friday. Then as we go and continue through, here's the cold front part with the gusty north winds. Notice not a lot of heavy snow with that up north here. There is a band of snow that gets kind of heavy in parts of northern Wisconsin and moving into Lake Superior in Michigan as we go into Friday, Saturday. So this is Saturday morning, by the way, and we get through with a little bit of taste of snow with this system and then some gusty cold north winds. So we're going to have up temperatures, down temperatures, up temperatures, down temperatures on the 7-day planner. Then we have a nice break. I'll show you that 7-day planner for Fargo area here in a moment. And you can always look up your local 7-day forecast on Hutch's Weather app. Search Hutch's Weather in your app store today. Big cold high pressure system moves right over as we go into Saturday night at midnight. So it's going to be brutally cold then going into your Sunday morning. And then south winds take hold on Sunday, warming things up again. The roller coaster continues. No significant storms at all, almost nationwide, except the Pacific Northwest that's getting beaten down over the last several days. There's floods going on. There's washed out bridges going on. There are temperature swings. They have snow in the Cascades and the Bitterroots of Montana and Wyoming. Get another system moving through. Notice this low pressure system not starting in Alberta, it's starting in the Northern Rockies, and that means its track might bring a better chance for us to see some precipitation. Look what it does though. See all these red lines? Big time warm up on Monday the 23rd. So a big time warm up in our area, warm enough for sprinkles of rain for precipitation with this system. Now this is a long drawn out system. It's not a bullseye type of a storm. It's a long drawn out low pressure system or mid latitude storm. And what that means is the winds won't be as strong and we're stretching the energy out over a larger area. And that means lighter precipitation with that. Boom. it hits the Great Lakes and it explodes in intensity, and we get ourselves a system as we head into the 23rd for travelers into the northeastern United States and, of course, the Great Lakes area. Warming up nicely here, briefly cold in Canada. So the blue lines, that's your cold pool of air. We really get a nice warm up as we head into Christmas Eve. And look at that. The red lines keep going into Canada. Looks like another system for the Seattle-Tacoma area here with heavy snow and wind possible as we head into Christmas Day. So Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, there'll be some flakes for Santa's sleigh to fly through. As we go through Canada and the southern prairie provinces, that system slides out of the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia right through the prairie provinces here as we go into Christmas Day. So that's where the chance of inclement weather will be. Most of the U.S. looks a little bit quieter right now, and that's good. Oh my goodness, I hope the semi driver is okay. We do too. There's been some people that have gotten flipped, had their semis flipped. So, you know, it's just best to stay home if you can. As we're going through. Here's a look at the latest wind gusts, and we'll leave you with that. If you have any other questions, you can always post them. I try to read them. Got a lot of content going on and going through right now. We're going to end where we started with a look at the conditions and the radar and a quick dance through the road conditions, and then we will go ahead and wrap this up. So again, a look at your current conditions. Gusts now, Grand Forks, 56 miles per hour. We had a recent gust of 70 plus miles per hour in Beltrami, 52 mile per hour gusts at Hector International right now, and Jamestown still gusty. Anywhere you see the peachy colors, things are less than peachy. We do have a calm or a lull in the storm here near Emily to Deer River. And we also have Wadena to Brainerd area here. You're starting to see those winds increase with gusts to 40. Look at Fergus Falls, would you? A 62 mile per hour gust right now. So those peak gusts are pushing their way into western Otter Tail County. The blizzard warning has been extended into western Otter Tail County. Not a lot of fresh new snow there, but enough bands have moved through that have caused visibility drops at times. So blizzard conditions expected to continue there. 6 p.m. is the end of that. Notice the end of the wind is now reaching central North Dakota and parts of the Devil's Lake Basin. I say end of the wind, it's still gusting to blizzard criteria. We're still seeing those 34, 35 mile per hour gusts off to the west frequently. That's going to continue to decrease for you. That will be shifting into the valley after 6 p.m. tonight, and things get a little better briefly as we wait the warm up and we await our next batch of Friday flakes in the afternoon hours. So that's a look at those current conditions. Now let's take a look at that latest radar to show you where the snow is. Here's a look at the blizzard reports. We have blizzard conditions reported here, Pembina in the Walhalla area and Langdon area. We also have a blizzard conditions right on the border with Marshall County, Minnesota and Polk County, Minnesota. We have wind conditions here, 62 mile per hour gust in Fargo, Moorhead with a 60 plus mile or 56 mile per hour gusts, pardon me, and gusts along the I-94 corridor that are 60 miles per hour. From the north, semi-drivers, if you have an empty load, just be super careful. 60 or greater mile per hour winds can topple empty trailer and even cause you to slide off the road with a full trailer. Morris, Benson, 59 miles per hour. Wilmer, 60 mile per hour gusts. Morgan, 61 mile per hour gust. How about 58 mile per hour gust in Wabe? As we look down towards Watertown, 63 miles per hour, 59 mile per hour gust in the Brookings area. Snow showers pushing all the way into Gaylord towards Mankato. And yes, you got it, Glencoe. You're in the middle of it, Hutch. That's right. Hutch is getting flakes of snow flying through the area, says Hutch Johnson. As we take a look, New Ulm down toward Mankato, seeing a band of healthy snow associated with this. What kind of wind is it coming with? We have wind gusts to 60 miles per hour moving through southern and central parts of Minnesota right now. So that means very tricky travel in those areas is going to be evolving here in the upcoming bit of time as well. No blizzard warnings down there, but a good old-fashioned winter weather event. A snow squall was reported in the Winton area. We had snow squall warnings. Those have expired, but they did report one up in that area. Webcam footage showed the images of rapidly decreasing visibility and snow accumulation along that heavy band of snow that's now pushing up into the Thunder Bay area as we work through. So some of you asking about snow squalls, eastern Minnesota did see a little bit of that. And we do have some wintry weather in Omaha right now as we take a look at that area. 61 mile per hour gusts. Pierre, South Dakota and the I-90 corridor seeing 65 mile per hour gusts by Reliance down there in southern and central parts of South Dakota. So the gusty winds continue, the blizzard warning continues. We do want to take one quick peek at roads and see if we have any changes to the basics of our closed road conditions. I-29 closed from Winnipeg all the way down to South Dakota. We have no closures here on the I-29 side here. These are all red counties are no travel advisories. The purple counties are a travel alert. That includes Jamestown, Valley City, travel alert. That includes Ashley and Wishick. Wow, that was a slip. I'm sorry, Ashley. I'm sorry, Wishick. We got you covered now. And as we take a look, this goes all the way up through Cooperstown and the Devil's Lake Basin for the travel alert. Conditions are just terrible. The interstate looks to be closed where you see the solid red lines there. So we check out Minnesota. We have a number of closed roads in Minnesota, all where you see these asterisks, all in the Red River Valley counties of northwest Minnesota. So most highways up there are indeed closed, and we're talking about small segments, but there's a large segment here of US 75 all the way from Crookston straight up into the Pembina area that is closed completely. This is a look at the St. Vincent camera up there, and you can see that there is wind, there's drifts, there's pillow drifts, and zero visibility at times. We do have a closure on Minnesota 175. We have a closure right here on Minnesota 11 from the Drayton exit and the Drayton area all the way towards Carlstead. That is closed down. We have a closure of Minnesota 220 between the Drayton area and Oslo. We have the closure of the Highway 1 from the state line all the way into Warren, Minnesota. We have a closure of Minnesota 22 for whiteout conditions from Alvarado straight into the Grand Forks area. From Grand Forks and Fisher, we have a closure of Minnesota 220 all the way down to Climax. So that road is closed. We have a closure of US Highway 2 between East Grand Forks and Crookston as well. So all those are closed roads at this particular time. So do not travel is what it means. And that does go all the way down to Shelley here, by the way, on US 75 closed from Crookston to Shelley as well. So those roads are closed. Don't try to drive on them. You're going to run into wintry conditions and completely covered roads where you see pink roads all the way up into the Arrowhead of Minnesota. And I want to take a look at what's going on in Waskish here. Look at the sludge and frozen solid ice. So rain and snow and blowing snow has caused just a sheet of ice, and it continues to snow and blow there in the Waskish area. And as we look up here at the Highway 1 near Shooks, we've got definitely some windswept roads out there and ice aplenty on area roads. So no fun travel all the way through central and northern Beltrami County. Right now with the snow that's making its way into south central Minnesota and that Hutchinson area, let's see if we can lock in on a little area of nonsense. Here we go. So you're looking at US 14 out here, and we got some what looks like melting, or maybe there was ice on that camera lens. That's just kind of sliding off, and we got some wind and snow and blowing snow out there in southern Minnesota as well. Now, that takes care of those. We have a no travel advisory that's in the northeast quadrant of South Dakota. Manitoba, you still have closed roads in and around the zone that is Winnipeg. Some opening of the roads out towards the Brandon, Manitoba area, but travel there. I-29 closed as it goes up to Manitoba as well. Dumb question. What does the red mean? Did I say the red? Maybe I said the red roads. So the red roads on what map makes a difference? This map, it's closed roads near Winnipeg, so I can zoom in and show you that. How's Highway 12 in Minnesota? Let's take a look at this red. Those are closed roads there. And if we're looking at the South Dakota roads, there's some candy striping on the area roads here. This is more pink. Those are snow-covered roads. So you got to follow the guide over here. Red in South Dakota means they're closed, whereas in other states, that's not always the case. So each state has their own priority. This solid red line on I-29 means it's closed. The candy striped red dashes means no travel advisories on those roads. So no travel advisories in the Red River Valley counties of North Dakota and the Highway 200 counties here all the way through Griggs County and the Cooperstown area. No travel is advised. Minnesota, let's see if we see red there. It's more pink and that means completely covered roads with snow and ice. And here you can take a look at the snow plow cameras as well. So help me out. Highway 12 near what, Gary? Let me know, and I'll see if I can get you an answer on that. But basically, this map is available on hutchesweather.com in my brand new weather app by heading over to the OK Tire Store Road Report. Any state in our area, any province in our area, we have this and the snowfall report from a computer model right there for you. So let me know. Mitchell, thank you for your question. Is there a blizzard going to take effect in Cook County as well, or will time tell when it comes? Well, your National Weather Service office has been studying this storm for quite a few days. And as we take a look at what's going on in the Arrowhead, we definitely have some wind that's going to be increasing, and the bands of snow will wrap through. The question with a blizzard warning and whether to issue one or not is, will it last for 3 solid hours, and will the winds be over 35 miles per hour, reducing visibility to a quarter mile or less for more than 3 hours? That's the question. It's a tough definition. So we don't like to throw it out those things. I do believe there's going to be parts of eastern Minnesota here, including Cook County and including south of the Twin Cities, where we got 60-mile-per-hour gusts and brief periods of snow that will reduce visibility for a bit, and then it'll get better for a while. And then it'll reduce visibility for a bit, and then it gets better for quite some time. So they won't quite meet the definition. So, right, I think you'll have to wait and see when it comes. But let's say this. We're not talking 35-mile-per-hour winds. We're talking closer to a magnitude of 40 to 60-mile-per-hour winds that will be going through central Minnesota. We've already seen some 60-mile-per-hour winds here approaching the cities, west of the cities and south of the cities. So we have got you covered. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your trust. Do know this. I'll keep you updated tonight. I cannot wait to start seeing some of the snowfall measurements with this system. Here was my most recent snowfall forecast, just so you have an idea. This was this morning. This is not additional on top of what you have now. This was made this morning, so you get a feel for it. I was expecting the heaviest snowfall totals from the 2-day event to be 3 to 7 inches and a little bit more as we go up into Winnipeg, 3 to 7 inches of snow along the international border counties. So if you're in Langdon, Walhalla, if you're in Cavalier, if you're in the Crookston area and points north, you're going to see a rapid ramp up. So I have 1 to 3 in this light blue area here. I think that that's going to be true. I think a trace to an inch might be what we end up with in Fargo, because it's going to be almost impossible to measure, but we'll give it our best Yankee Doodle shot. Jackknife semi west of Donaldson. Thank you for your report, Wayne. I appreciate that. Well, those kind of things are happening all over the place, and it's up to our first responders to help get those cleared out so the plows can even make it through. Bemidji and points north, a rapid ramp up from 1 to 3 inches. So I do think Bemidji, based on the camera shots I've seen, will have some significant measurable snow, upwards of 3 to plus inches. As you get up towards Waskish and points north, you're going to get into this 3 to 7 band. So Rainy Lake, Couchiching County, International Falls, all the way out towards Thunder Bay, seeing some heavy duty snow. And as you look up here in the northeast part of the Arrowhead of Minnesota, we're going to have increasing amounts on the north side of that with a lot of wind. So Duluth, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow, 1 closer to the shore and closer to the 3 as you go northward. 6 to 12? What? Yeah, look at that. Now, if you're in Badette, I can't wait to hear your measurements up there to see how Hutch's forecast was. And as we wait to hear from folks out west on what they got, not hearing a lot of snowfall reports as of this particular time. And the reason being, it's just difficult to measure with winds like that. Thanks for all your reports. And that is what we have for this particular time. All right, looking at the conditions. Yep, horizontal flakes of snow still flying here in South Moorhead as I give this report. Stay home if you can. I'll let you know as things free up. It's just as important to know when it's done as it is to know when it's coming. And I spend a lot of time making sure we all know before it gets here as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist
Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Wait, you forgot the new app?
You're right! I did! Don't forget to download our new app! Thanks for watching Hutch's Weather. Anywhere, anytime, on the app at hutchesweather.com.